Yo, what's up YouTube? I'm DJ Villy and welcome to Master Crafters. Today we have a new creeper farm tutorial for you guys here on the channel. I know it has been a long time since we've had a new creeper farm, but here it is for you guys. This guys is a awesome farm. It actually gives you a ton of creepers and it is spawn proof for spiders and other mobs. So this works as a great creeper farm that you could build in Minecraft Bedrock. As you can see, the farm consists of a ton of spawning platforms where the creepers can actually go and spawn onto. And then we actually do have the dead coral fins where the creepers think that they are actually a full block and then they fall down into the collection system right here to be killed. And it does work with a trident killer, so that way you can actually get some XP as well as use looting 3 on your sword. So this is an awesome farm. And because of all of the materials, we do have all of the material list in the description because it is so big. But anyway, if you guys want to build it, let's get started. And just a quick note, this farm does fit within the 4-chunk simulation distance. So as you can see, I do have a data pack on by Foxy No-Tail, and thank you for him by creating this awesome spawning sphere data pack. But we can actually see here, the green zone is where nothing will spawn. Of course, we do have an armor stand in place for a player position. And then also, if you go out here, the farm actually fits really neatly in between the 2 spheres. So of course, the green one is where no mobs will spawn. And then in between is where the mobs will actually spawn if you are playing on a simulation chunk distance of 4. And then the red is where they will despawn. So this farm actually does fit really neatly and compact within all of the spawning spheres. So let's go straight to the tutorial. So first up, you'll want to find yourself a ocean where it will actually be nowhere near land, and this is because the oceans don't actually have the pesky caves where all of the mobs spawn. So I would recommend going to an ocean and finding a nice spot to build it. Then, if you are playing it in survival, I would recommend and go all the way down to the ocean bottom, and then we will need to actually pillar up to Y level 174. This actually gives us enough space in between the ocean so that we don't have anything spawning within the ocean, which means you can actually do have a lot of spawning rates up at the top of the farm. So there we go, I've built it all the way up to Y level 174. You can go in between probably 150 and above, but I would recommend building it above Y 150 so that none of the mobs will actually spawn in the ocean. Next, on the Y level 174, you can actually build yourself a little player AFKing spot, and this is because this is where your player is going to be AFKing. So right here in the middle of the block here, you might want to mark it with a different block, but this is the AFK spot for the farm. Next, once you actually do have your tower, you will want to go down to Y level 143, and this is actually the direction we are going to be building our farm. So pick a direction and then go 27 blocks, including the block right here. So you will want to go to Y level 143 and place a block right here on your tower, and then go 27 blocks in front of you. Once you have your 27 blocks complete here, go all the way to the edge here and place one more block. This is going to be our 28th block, and this is where we're going to be placing our area for the Trident killer. So I would recommend building a 6x6 area to start out with, so that way we actually have an area to build the farm. So what you want to do on this 28th block, go to the left and place 2 more blocks to the left, and 3 more blocks to the right, 1, 2, 3, and then on the right, 5 more blocks out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you can make a little box with this shape. Once you have your little 6x6 area to start out with, we do not need this tower or this ledge anymore. This was just for survival that you can actually build up here, and you can take this all down. Do remember to keep this platform up above here. This is going to be your player AFK spot, so you do not want to actually deconstruct this area. Once you're on your 6x6 platform here and you have your spawning spot right behind you, go over to the right area of the spawning spot. From here, go 2 blocks in and then go sideways. This is where we're going to be actually placing our chest just like so. And then what you'll want to do is place 2 hoppers on the chest and 2 hoppers behind the chest going into the other hoppers like this. Once you have your hoppers in place, go to the lower left corner and place a rail, and then the upper right one and place a rail. Place a minecart with a hopper on each of these rails, and then connect the others 2 rails with 2 more. This will actually keep the minecart with hoppers in motion forever, so that way your items will be collected and go into the chest. If you do want to ever expand this system, if you need more storage, you can always go downwards with more hoppers in chests. Next up, take out some building blocks here and go upwards from the chest on the left, 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks, and then 1 block up top on from the minecart hoppers. You can actually get rid of the 3 blocks underneath and then make a little 4x4 area underneath the minecart hoppers, and this is where all of the actual mobs will be spawning here, or they will actually be collected into the system. So now that we have our 4x4 block area right here underneath the minecart with hoppers. Next, take out your observers, pistons, and building blocks, and you will want to actually place a piston every 3rd block here. So a piston right there, piston, piston, and piston, and the pistons all need to be facing in towards the center. Then take out your observers and make sure that the arrow is actually facing in this direction towards you, and you'll want to make sure that the observer is actually facing towards this block every time that you build it, so that way the face is on the piston. So this is how the Trident killer actually works, and then place a block on each of the corners like this. Next, pick up your glass here, and you'll want to go upwards by 2 blocks here on each of the blocks here, so that way we can keep our mobs from coming out of our Trident killer. So like this, 2 blocks upwards, and then all the way around like this. Next, take out your building blocks, and we need 1 more row above the glass here like this. And then you'll want to make sure that your spawning or your AFK spot is right in front of you. And then you can actually go to the 3rd block right here with your AFK platform in front of you and go 5 blocks in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you will need to connect this up with another layer on the middle, just like this, 5 blocks out from the other platform. And then we will need to do the same on the back side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then layer it up like this. Now that we have our ledges built, you will need to go over to each ledge and place a 2x2 area of glass like this, and then you can go all the way over to the other one and place 2x2 glass. This way you can actually see the creepers going in through into the collection system, and this is great if you have any problems. You can actually go over to these windows and see what is happening in the killing center. Then you could take up your building block of choice and wrap the windows up with 2 blocks each like this, and then do the same on the other side. And then we will need to connect each window like this. So you want to wrap it up and then go to the other side and place some building blocks like this. And there we go. Now, before we forget, take up your trident and go straight into the killing center here, and then throw a couple of tridents. Now, make sure the player who is throwing these tridents is going to be the one using this farm. If there is another player that wants to use this farm, they will need to go back into the system right here, grab up the tridents, throw them, and that way they can actually get the looting 3 effect from their sword. Next, you'll need your 4 buttons and a couple of buckets of water. Place 2 buttons right here underneath the killing center on each side like this, and then take out your water, and you will want to place water on each of the lower windows. Now, the buttons are there to stop the water from actually going inside the killing center, but this is to push all of your mobs right into the Trident killer. Then take up your leaves and place a layer of leaves on top of this right here. We will want to keep the edge blocks like this. and then place leaves on the other side as well. And this is going to be the start of our collection area for all of the creepers to fall down towards. Now that you have your leaves in place, you will want to get out more leaves and go to the left corner of any of the sides. It doesn't matter if this side or if it's that side, we're going to be doing the same for both sides. And then go out 7 blocks in total. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we will want to actually connect this up into a box. So we will want to build leaves all the way towards the other side here and connect it up like this. And then you will want to fill in the leaves. Once we actually have them filled in, we want to do the same on the other side. So go 7 blocks out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you will want to actually connect these two up like we did on the other side and fill the leaves in. Just a quick tip, if you are building this farm in creative and you are using commands, you cannot actually use commands with leaves because they will deteriorate. I believe this is a glitch for now, but you will need to place the leaves in by hand. Next up, go to any of the 2 leaf areas and want to go to the left corner here, place a temporary block up top, and then place a block on the ledge like so, and then you will want to break the temporary block. And then we want to create a ledge of blocks like this, and then go to any of the 2 corners here, and you'll want to bring the ledge of blocks all the way up to this block right here by the collection system, and then you'll want to do the same on the other side. Now, the reason that we are placing blocks right here is because leaves can be waterlogged, so you will need to take out your water bucket and place water on each of these blocks here. It can be a little difficult with water, but that way we have our water flowing all the way through. And then once you're done, you can break these temporary blocks right here like so, and then replace them with leaves. There we go. Again, we will want to do this to the other side of the leafy area. So go over to the left corner, place a block, and then place up your ledge like this. And then we will want to do the same on each of the 2 sides. That way all of our creepers stay in the farm and they're not falling out like crazy creepers that they are. Then we want to take our water bucket here, place the water on the side of the block. That way the leaves don't get waterlogged and we don't have any problems. And then take out the replacement of blocks here and then replace them with leaves. And you should have something like this. Again, go up to your leafy areas here, and this is going to be a little bit repetitive, but we'll get through it, guys. I know we will. So you want to go up to the corner here, place 7 more leafy blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you can connect up the area with leaves like we did in the previous stage of the farm, and then fill in the leaves. And you will want to do the same on the other side. Next up, go to either of the 2 leafy areas and place a block on top of one of the blocks beside the water like this. And then you will want to wrap this around like we did in the last stage here. So we can wrap this all the way around the leafy area like this. And then make sure that the block actually meets up with the other water level. Then take out your water and do the same as we did. Place the water on the side of the blocks like this. That way all of the creepers will go all the way towards the spawning, or not the spawning, the killing center. And then you will want to do the same on the other side as well. Now you have something looking like this, and you want to go to each of the 2 sides here and break the replacement blocks here. And then actually put in leaves on each of the sides here. And we are actually going to be doing this step one more time here. So the previous step that we just did, we are actually going to do it one more time. So take out your leaves here and then go to one of the corners and then go 7 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you can fill in the boxes like we did in the last step. Once you have your 2 leaf platforms, you'll again want to wrap this in blocks. So go over to one of the blocks above the water here, and then wrap it up with the actual blocks here. Now this time we do not want to break this line here because we are done with placing leaves on this platform. Make sure you do the same on the other side. So go above the water here and create a barrier, just like this, and you'll want to actually make sure that the blocks are all connected and everything looks ready to go. And then one quick thing here is that you will want to place 2 blocks above these glass panes or glass panels on each side. Now we are almost done with the collection system. Take out your water bucket on each of the sides and place in water on the sides of the blocks here. Go over to the other side and do the same. Now that we have the water in, you'll want to take up your slabs, and you will actually want to place a slab on each of the full blocks surrounding the water area to make sure that no mobs or no creepers actually spawn down here and then fall down and you'll lose some of your rates. So you will want to actually put some slabs on each of the lines like this. So it should look something like this. You'll want a slab on each of the full blocks on top of the actual block. And there we go. We are done with our humongous collection system area, and we will create the actual farm now. Okay, so now that this is all built, you will want to go to the front of the farm here. Go up to this for reference, and you'll want to go up to the left block here. The front is right behind me. And so you'll want to go in 3 blocks. 1, 2, 3. And then pillar up 6 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is where we're going to be starting our spawning platforms. You can actually get rid of the 5 blocks underneath. And then you will want to go 8 blocks out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And these are going to be our spawning pillars. And so there's going to be a block in between each spawning pillar. So we're going to actually go over one, a temporary block, and then place one in. And then you can pillar 8 blocks to the side, temporary block, place a pillar, and then keep going. So it should look something like this. Then we can go ahead and break the temporary blocks here, and then continue going and place in 8 more pillars to this side here. So then you will want to do the same on the other side. Go over to one of the corners on this side here, temporary block, and then place in a pillar. And then this will be the first one. You will need to place 11 in total, including this pillar, off to this side. And remember that these are 9 blocks in total. There we go, we have our other 11 pillars in place, and in total, you should have 22 pillars looking just like this. Now, this is where the tedious part comes. You will need to figure out where the front of the farm is, so that is the front of the farm here. Take out your dead coral fan, and on the leftmost side of the first pillar here, you will need to place fans on all of the sides of this pillar here. So we will want to do this. Now these fans will actually work the same as buttons used to in Bedrock, and that the mobs will actually see them as full blocks, and then they will just fall into the water. So now that we have all of the corners or the actual walls with coral fans, we will want to do the same with all of the other pillars. Now, of course, this here is already done, so we just need to put it on this side, and then place it on the right side. And you will want to continue doing this until you reach the end. So, of course, corner, corner, and then line, and then continue doing this until you all the way get to the end. Now that you're done with all the coral fans, it should look something like this. Then you will need to go back over to the left corner where we started here and take out your fence posts. Now this part is a bit tedious, and you will probably need a lot of blocks to actually use for this process. So on the first block here, we will want to place a block above, block to the left of the part, and then we will need to place a oak fence just like this, and then place one on the other side, and then you could just take out these 2 blocks. And then you will want to go over 3 blocks, so 1, 2, 3, place the blocks again, and then put a oak fence on each side of the block, and then break the block, to go 3 blocks, 1, 2, 3, place 2 blocks, oak fence, and then you're done for this section. And now you will need to do it for each individual section here. So again, we will need to start over on this area right here, place a block and another, oak fence, and then break the blocks, go 3 blocks, 1, 2, 3, block, oak fence, oak fence. You can actually use any fence that you want. Go 3 blocks, fence, fence, and then there we go. We will need to do that for the rest of the lines, and this is to prevent spiders from actually spawning in your farm. So if you do want spiders, then you don't have to do any of the fences. Alternatively, you can use another strategy here, is that you can actually place them in a line and just break every other oak fence. So break, and then keep, break, keep, and then we actually need one more off to this side. So you can use whatever strategy that you want, but you will need to have a setup somewhat like this. Okay, so now that you have all the fence posts in, this is what it should look like. Now, the unfortunate part that I am about to give you, you actually need to do this 8 more times to actually get the full length of the farm. So you will want to go back over to the left section here, get out your blocks, and then go up 3 blocks, 1, 2, 3, and then this is where we're going to actually put in another spawning layer. So we will have 8 blocks going like this, and you'll want to repeat this step that we just did here with all of the blocks, the 22 layers of the blocks, and then the coral fins, and then the fence post 8 more times upwards. So yeah, good luck. So just a quick reminder on how to do this. We will need to take out these temporary blocks and then go 1 block over, and then another one, and then layer, and then continue doing that towards all the way towards the end of the farm here. And then you will need to put in your dead coral fins. Make sure that they are all the way around the first one. And then on the second one, you only need to put them on 3 out of the 4 sides. And then with your fence posts, block, block, fence post, and then break them. And so you will need to do this 8 more times up above until you get to the 9th layer. Also, just a quick reminder is that you will need fence posts on each of the outer sides of the farm. So as you can see, we have them on the outer sides of each of the spawning layers. Once you are fully done with all of the layers, including the fence posts, the dead coral fans, and the spawning pillars, this is what it should look like, and we are actually almost done, guys. Hang on, because we are so close. I know you guys probably want to quit already, but it's definitely going to be worth it. You're going to have some creepers spawning in your world, so let's get right into the last part of the tutorial. So the last part, you will need to get out your leaves and go to the left side of the farm again, all the way up to top where the first fence post is on the first layer. You'll need to place a temporary block here, and then place a leaf block here, and then get rid of the temporary block. Place a leaf off to the left, and then make a line all the way down to the last fence post right here. So a line just like that. And then you will actually need to make a line of leaves going all the way down to this side here, all the way down to the last fence post of the farm. So as you can see, I stopped right here, and then you'll need to go 1 block more. And then again, we will need to actually take a line of leaves and go to the last fence post right here, and then connect the 2 sides together, and you will need to fill in all of the leaves. So the leaves will actually prevent the sun from keeping mobs from spawning, so this is a pretty good technique that you will need to use. If you do not put this platform up above, then the farm will basically only work at the nighttime, so you will probably need to put in these leaves here, and then you'll just need to fill this in with leaves. Once you have all the leaves in place, you will need to go back over to the left corner again, and then go up to the front here and take out your full blocks. Then we'll need to go outwards 6 blocks in each direction from here and from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we will need to do the same on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then again on this layer right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then place a 6 right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And basically we will need to fill in this layer right here. So take the line all the way back here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then fill in these smaller boxes so that it should actually look like a roof. Now we should have something like this. We will need to repeat this step on the other side of the farm here. So again, we will need to do 6 blocks out in each direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then again here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then again on this corner right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then again right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then fill it in just like we did with the other side. Now that you have the 2 layers like this, you will actually need to connect this piece right here all the way over to that piece, and this one all the way over to this piece. So an easy way we can do this is to actually make a pillar of blocks connecting the 2 pieces and then fill them all in. And we do want to do this with the other side, so we will want to actually make a pillar of blocks going all the way over to the other side, and then just fill in this space right here and this space right here. If you are building this in survival, I would be cautious because mobs can actually spawn up here sometimes. So I would bring some torches with you if you would like, just to keep away from mobs. The torches will be temporary and we will have a solution to mob spawning up here soon. Now that we got all of the blocks in place, similar to what we did at the bottom, we will need to place slabs on each of the full blocks right here. So starting wherever you want, you will need to place slabs on all of the blocks up top, except for the leaves. You do not need to place slabs on leaves, as that will be a waste of materials, but you will need to place them on the full blocks to prevent mobs from spawning up here and destroying your rates down in the actual farm. And there we go. We are almost complete with the farm. We have all of our slabs in. Now we just have one more step to go, and we actually need to go inside the farm here. Now, to prevent zombies and skeletons from spawning, we will actually need to take out our trapdoors here and place them underneath the layers of blocks like this. Now, the creepers can actually spawn on these spawning platforms because they are small enough, but zombies and skeletons can't because of the trapdoors. So if you do not want zombies and skeletons in your farm, place trapdoors underneath all of the layers like this. You do not need to place them underneath the first layer, but underneath the second layer, and then underneath all the rest of the layers like this. The reason I actually saved this for last is because now that you have all of the layers to work with, you can use the layers to actually walk on and place all of the trapdoors underneath. Hopefully that will actually help you with all of the trapdoors. And the very last step here is that you'll need to go all the way back down to the station, place some torches, that way mobs will not spawn. You probably have already done this. And then you will need to place a lever on one of the pistons, that way you can actually stop the Trident killer and activate it again. And as you can see, creepers are already spawning in this farm. This is absolutely amazing. So there we go, guys. We have the amazing creeper farm tutorial for you guys. Hopefully this helps a ton for your survival series or creative series, whatever you prefer. But this farm is absolutely awesome. It spawns in creepers and everything like that. But thank you guys so much for watching another tutorial from the Master Crafters. If you do like it, make sure to hit the like button and maybe consider subscribing, because that definitely helps. But hopefully you guys like our tutorials here, and let us know what kind of tutorials that we can do later on in the future in the comments below. Of course, this one is a massive project, and we probably won't do anything this soon of a massive project, but we can do smaller things, so let us know what you guys like. But anyway, thank you so much, and have a great rest of your day.